USS George H.W. Bush aircraft carrier in Indian Ocean. CENTCOM confirms. A U.S. Navy aircraft carrier has been confirmed operating in the U.S. Central Command Area of Responsibility after open-source flight tracking data exposed its position days before an official acknowledgement. U.S. Central Command CENTCOM confirmed on Thursday that USS George H.W. Bush CVN-77 was sailing in the Indian Ocean within its area of responsibility as of April 23. The carrier's position had already been pieced together by open-source analysts a day earlier. A Bell Boeing CMV-22B Osprey with the call sign chosen to registration number 169470 appeared on Flight Radar 24 flying near the Comoros Islands, north of Madagascar. The aircraft was tracked at approximately 8,500 feet altitude and a ground speed of roughly 470 kilometers per hour. Open-source analyst account Menchoson assessed that the Osprey originated from USS George H.W. Bush, placing the Nimitz-class carrier group north of Madagascar and on a transit route toward the Arabian Sea. The flight path aligns with a corridor commonly used by naval forces moving from the southern Indian Ocean toward operational areas in the Middle East. The Central Command confirmation of its Indian Ocean presence, issued April 23, was the first official acknowledgement of the ship's location. U.S. Navy carrier strike groups operate under strict emissions control at sea, deliberately limiting radar communications and other detectable signals to reduce their vulnerability to detection, and targeting aircraft operating from those carriers, however, may occasionally transmit automatic dependent surveillance broadcast signals ADSB, which are the same position reporting signals used by commercial aviation and visible on civilian tracking platforms like Flight Radar 24. The system was designed for air traffic safety, not military security, and its signals travel regardless of whether the transmitting aircraft belongs to a civilian airline or a Navy logistics squadron. When a carrier-based aircraft transmits its position on the tracking network, effectively marks a circle around the ship it came from. The George H.W. Bush is a Nimitz-class nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, one of the largest warships ever built, at roughly 333 meters in length and displacing over 100,000 tons. When fully loaded, it operates as the centerpiece of a carrier strike group that typically includes cruisers, destroyers, submarines, and a carrier air wing of approximately 70 aircraft. That air wing gives the strike group the ability to project air power across a radius of hundreds of miles, conduct strikes against land targets, establish air superiority over a contested area, and support naval operations across a wide maritime theater. Moving a Nimitz-class carrier into the Arabian Sea places that capability within operational range of the Persian Gulf and the broader Middle East theater. The George H.W. Bush's transit takes on significance given the current operational environment in the region. According to the open-source assessment accompanying the flight tracking data, the Bush could represent a third U.S. aircraft carrier deployed in or moving toward the broader Indian Ocean and Arabian Sea area in proximity to Iran. The United States has maintained elevated naval presence in the region since the onset of the Iran conflict, with carrier strike groups serving as the primary instrument of power projection in a theater where land basing is limited and the distances involved demand naval aviation rather than ground-based air assets. The concentration of multiple carrier strike groups in a single theater is not a routine deployment posture. It reflects the scale of the commitment the United States has made to operations in the region and the demand that sustained combat operations place on naval aviation assets. Carrier air wings fly strike missions, provide air defense coverage, conduct reconnaissance, and support a continuous operational tempo that draws down aircraft ordnance and crew readiness over time. Rotating additional carriers into the theater sustains that tempo. The Bush's movement through the Indian Ocean toward the Arabian Sea follows an established transit corridor. Ships moving from the Atlantic or Mediterranean rounding the Cape of Good Hope or transiting the Suez Canal converge on the same general route through the Indian Ocean before entering the Arabian Sea from the south or southwest. The carrier's position north of Madagascar, assessed from the Osprey's flight data, places it on exactly that track.